Hey, this is Brandon Figure. Now, I want to talk about Mattel's new DC action figures. They have teased a lot of those figures, and so far, what I'm seeing so far, I think they look pretty cool. They're not so bad looking to me, to be honest with you. I think they look pretty good for a kids line. Um, but I gotta be honest with you, I believe they're still going to make adult collectors line of figures look very similar to the kids line of figures. Reason why I think of that is because look at Green Lantern and look at Superman. Look at the knee joints and the thigh swivels. Okay, they are very similar to Marvel Legends. You think they will actually make a whole new figure for all these characters for the adult line? I don't think so. I mean, these figures already have pretty good articulation joints here and there for a kid's line, okay? And they are already at a pretty good scale, like 6.5-ish scale. They are at pretty good scale. So, you'll see that in a moment. Yeah, and look at this Jokerized Batman. So, this curse is still, it goes far beyond McFarlane's. This has been going on, so that must be DC's fault or Warner Brothers' fault for coming up with this Jokerized BS. But anyway, now what we're seeing here, you can see Superman right here. He looks great. It's not amazing or anything, but it looks a lot like Marvel Legends, right? So, in my opinion, it's not so bad looking. I gotta be honest with you, it really doesn't. It looks pretty good to me. So if I see them in the store, I'm grabbing it. So I'll probably grab this guy, the John Stewart figure, and I'll probably get the Superman figure. So and here you see the Jokerized figure, and it comes with accessories too. Um, I have a feeling they're gonna stick with this scale for the adult line, and the scale is gonna be very similar. They're just going to add more articulation joints on the adult line. These head sculpts, the sculpt of these bodies, they look pretty good already. They're not perfect, but they're gonna add something on there. So you can see the scale right here coming from Dan Hu reviews. Dan Hu has reviewed the early look at the Mattel's new DC Robin action figure, and you can see how he scales pretty good with the Marvel Legends action figures. And so, like, it's not bad to me, honestly. I'm all for it. Just step back a little bit, take a step back, and just really think this through. They are going to reuse parts for the adult line. They just reused the old 2019 Man Bat figure for the 12-inch action figures for kids. They just reused it for the new one, upcoming Man Bat figure that comes with the other two 12-inch scale Batman and Nightwing action figures. And so, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm just telling you that Mattel is not going to not reuse figures. They are going to reuse a lot of parts to get the profit. Okay? That's just the way it is. It's just so they can make the most out of the profit. So you see these kiss lines that they have pretty amazing articulation there from the navel down, like the thigh swivel and double jointed knees and single jointed elbows, but it has rotation at the elbows and it has pretty good head articulation judging from the Dan Who's review. The articulation is pretty good. So for a kids line, it's kind of advanced for a kids line. So imagine that figure. Imagine, okay, let's just look at, like, for example, look at Superman. And the body, it reminds me of Mattel's basic World Wrestling Federation action figure or entertainment action figure. Sorry. So rem let's just use Cody from WWE. This Cody action figure, there's a basic version. Okay, there are three different versions. Okay, so first one is the basic, second is elite, and third is ultimate. Okay, you can see how all three of them, they generally look pretty much exactly the same. The only difference between the three of them are how much articulation points they have. Okay, the first one has the least amount of articulation. The second one has pretty much all the articulation joints you need for an action figure. And the third one has more articulation than you need. So, how I believe that DC will do that is because I'm seeing, like, for example, Robin. Let's okay. I'm using Superman as an example. Now, compare Cody to Superman. You can see the basic line looks very similar to the DC's Kids line. Very, very similar. No torso articulation, no angle articulation. It's quite similar, except DC's line has more articulation points than the WWE basic version, right? Now, you think you think that Mattel will like completely make a new body for uh, DC's adult line? Maybe, possible, because we have seen their He-Man movie figures and they look pretty good. They look pretty good. They're not amazing or anything. They're decent. They're not bad. I wouldn't complain if DC action figures look like that. They look pretty good. But um, now let's just go back to this Superman edit. Now you look at the Superman edit. All I did is added a little bit more joints. You know, like double jointed elbows and angle articulation and diaphragm cut articulation. That's it. And that can easily be transferred into the adult line. And so, like, you can see, like, I mean, the head sculpts look pretty detailed. They look pretty good. And, I'm judging, like, the way I look at them, they look a lot like Marvel Legends. Like, almost eerily similar. So, you think they will just, get more detailed than that? That's not happening. Maybe for movie action figures, um, they'll most likely do a good job on that. But for comic-based action figures, it's most likely going to be the kids line of action figures. I want to talk about it because I feel that's exactly what they're going to do. And just imagine, I mean, this is fully profitable for Mattel. Reason why is because they know that adults will be buying kids line of figures because they got some pretty cool gimmicky stuff going on, like the accessories and alternate heads and all that. Just think about that. So they were counting on adults to buy the kids line and the adult line. So they make a lot of money doing that. So yeah, so like for instance, they make the kids line with accessories and all that, and then they make adult line into 7-inch, 7.5-inch scale action figures. Now, adults are not going to be buying kids line because they won't fit with the 7-inch scale action figures. You understand where I'm going with here? They are going to stay the same scale, 6.5-inch scale, like these movie He-Man action figures. They're going to stay with that. And speaking of movie He-Man action figures, they're going to do a crossover with, DC and He-Man action figures. They're going to do a crossover with that. It's just going to happen. So, anyway, what do you guys think? You think I'm right on this or am I wrong? I'll be happy to be proven wrong, but I think they are going to go with this for sure.